Hi, and welcome to another episode of Veterans Onward to Prosperity. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Bliven. And I'm really excited about this episode because, first of all, the bottom line message to all of this is we are not alone. You heard me right, veterans and warriors. As we are struggling with whatever it is that we're struggling with, we are not alone. We are fully supported. Think of it this way. When we have left the military with all that camaraderie and finding ourselves trying to figure things out on our own, we're like a three-legged stool trying to sit on it and be well supported. But guess what? Our guests for this episode are like giving us a fourth leg. Thereby the stool is more supported and not going to fall underneath us. It's going to keep us up. So please stay tuned in this episode as you learn how we are tangibly and sustainably supported by the gentlemen that are coming on in this episode. Don't go away.
Watch for Wild Child Records throughout the GTA, showcasing new music releases and updates from all 4 parts of the globe.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Bliven, and Veterans Onward to Prosperity is all about supporting veterans and warriors, and that's what Steve Graber is all about with Graduated Hope. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Thank you, Anna Maria. Good to be here.
Now, Steve, I call you a veteran supporter because you didn't actually serve in the military, but you're serving us who served in the military.
Yes, because we appreciate our veterans so much.
Thank you. So, in a salute to our service, what is it you're doing with Graduated Hope?
Well, what we've put together is a program to really help people get back on their feet. I mean, really, housing is one of the toughest things right now in our society. Across the United States, we are woefully short on inventory, making it really hard for people to get back on their feet, finding homes that are affordable, and especially helping our veterans get back to where they need to be in a civilian status.
So how are we doing this?
So what we've done is we put together a program that really, it's going to be a staged approach that allow people to essentially graduate from one house to the next. So right now, with the cost of living getting to be so high, we are going to introduce people into a home that can be shared. So imagine a veteran's home, and I can actually show this on a screen. In fact, I'll pull that up right now. Let me share my screen with you so you can see what that actually will look like. So here is a veteran's home that we had put together probably about actually January of this year, where we remodeled a home where a number of men come together and they work together and sharing the costs with one another. So essentially the way this works, we are basically allowing our landlords or investors to make more money than they would normally make. And then for the veterans that come into this home, they're paying a lot less. In this particular home, this is in Colorado Springs, Colorado, but veterans are only paying about $650 per month in rent. Normally you'd be paying here about $1,200 in rent, but each person is paying $650 in rent. And what that allows them to do is really to work together. we as the landlords or investors, we don't rent out to the veterans individually. We rent out to the house as an LLC, a limited liability corporation, so that we can actually rent to the house as a unit. And then the veterans, will be usually 8 people in this house, and they share the kitchen area and they share the living area. And everybody gets their own bedroom. And it's a huge win for people because we are lowering the cost, again, by half. And we put together some very nice homes, and we put in some very nice furniture inside of here. The ideal is to have something that's something you'd be proud of to have and to live in. But again, being in the same group with a lot of other veterans, it's a win for everyone. But it's a win for our investors because they're going to make more money, but it's a win for the veterans because they pay less money and they can get back on their feet again. Now, the way this works is you will pay rent once a month, and you will also share in the living responsibilities that take place. You're essentially a guest in the home. So being a guest in the home, you got to make sure one person's job this week will be to mow the lawn. The next person's job will be to potentially clean the bathrooms. Another is to clean the kitchen. Another is to clean the garage. And those jobs will shift every week so that everyone kind of partakes in different things. But what makes this house function is the once a week meeting that takes place. It's a mandatory meeting. They'll take maybe on a Wednesday night or a Sunday night. All the veterans will come together and they will discuss what's going on in the house. They'll have someone who will be, everyone's got a role in the house. One person's role will be the president of the house that will start the meetings. One will be the treasurer to make sure all of the monies are collected for the month so we can pay the landlord. Another person's job will be simply to make sure all the jobs are being done. So make sure that you're doing your job with cleaning, the garage or whatever it might be that's your job. There's a coordinator to make sure going through and doing check marks and a checklist to make sure everyone does their piece. Then you'll have maybe someone who's also a secretary taking notes. Everybody has a role in making this house work, and this is the way to get people back on their feet again and get them into civilian life. And this is an exciting opportunity for everyone, again, as a stepping stone. The next thing that will take place, and I'm going to jump forward a few slides here, but we can also then put people into cottages. So what we're doing as well, happens to be a duplex we're working on right now, where we have a total of 8 to 10 people living in homes like this. The goal that we're putting together with Graduated Hope is we want you to graduate. If we can help you graduate into then a house like this, because if you're already saving money, only paying half that you normally pay in rent, why not put that money away and let's get you then ownership in a house instead of a shared housing unit. Let's put you in a house like this, and now you can actually have your own home in a cottage that you can feel proud of. So let me kind of just share it this way, Anna Maria. What we're trying to do is put in 8 people in a shared living environment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bedrooms with 1, 2, 3, 4 baths, and then everybody will share the kitchen, dining, and living areas on this side or this side. We also have transition rooms for our veterans that that are leaving their service. They will stay maybe in a transition room until everyone votes that person in. That's stage 1. You come into a shared living environment, working together, sharing the chores, sharing what needs to be done to make this house function. After the shared living home, they're going to move into a lease option home, which will be a cottage. You'll have 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, and a living area. Because the goal for people here is to get into something still small that you can start developing equity in. So we're now beginning to build a lot of these cottages that will be that stepping stone for you to get into for the next stage. But it goes on even beyond that. We're always graduating, but the whole goal here is to create a community. Imagine maybe a veterans whole community where we actually have maybe a community center in the middle of the community, followed by shared living experiences in a home that might be here on this parcel, another shared home in this one, another shared home, having some apartments all in the same community, but let's let them graduate into cottages that look like this. And you see how that helps people get back on their feet, because first of all, you're spending much less on rent, and then you actually get equity when you move into the cottages, which will be on the outside of the community. But even beyond that, we're even building in a lot of our communities now, we're going to create single family homes on the very outside. So again, it becomes a staged effect. So that's what we're doing right now, Anna Maria, to really help our veterans get back on their feet. And we call it Graduated Hope.
We miss the camaraderie, we miss the community environment when we leave the military. But you're rebuilding that opportunity for us to have camaraderie and community with Graduated Hope.
Correct. Yes. The more we find that, in fact, we've even done this. I must mention, we've done this like people coming out of sober living. If people stay there 12 to 18 months, they're 87% likely they'll never have a relapse. Well, with veterans, we're seeing the same thing. We're seeing that there's going to be a very high success rate for people coming in. And here's the key: community, as you just mentioned. If the more community that you have and you work together with the same backgrounds, everyone knows what it's like to come out of the military, and we're all in the same place, we're going to help each other. But community is where it's at, and that's what helps this be successful.
Yes, it's one thing to try and figure this out on your own, go into a dark place, still be on your own. But if you and I see each other and you can see that I'm down, you're going to stop me and you're going to say, well, wait a minute, what's bothering you? Oh man, that just right there saved me from spending another moment in my dark place all alone.
Yep. We need one another. We're designed for community to help one another. And I think you see the results when you look at the success rates of what we've seen so far. It's amazing the difference that can happen. And you have hope. So not only have community, you have hope of going to the next step.
Yes, and I was told that the root word of prosper is hope. So we're going to continue on this path of hope right after these messages.
Let me introduce you to Frank Sinclair. He has a business called Dream Again Business Consulting. Frank believes that you were put on this earth for a specific reason. It's his job to find out why. If we follow the natural course of your life and your story, it always leads to your purpose.
Hi, Jay Stoyan here for the Disability Channel. I just want everybody to know that you can subscribe to our newsletter, which comes out quarterly, offering all types of opportunities, including our employment programs for persons with disabilities and veterans. Again, subscribe to our newsletter. It's free. Stay updated. I'm Jay Stoyan. You're watching the Disability Channel.
Hey vets, you know who I am. This is Ranger Johnson, and I want to help you to get the VA disability rating that you deserve. And if you want to know more about the Ranger method, please go to championsforveterans.com and schedule a free consultation now. Stay in the fight!
Hi, welcome back. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Blevin, and we were just talking with Steve about building a community that gives us the camaraderie that we flourish in because we were trained. It's in our DNA. We flourish when we're in community and in camaraderie. And Zach, you're all about community.
I am. I do everything I can do to help out and create a feeling of community. And I've just got to say, listening to Steve and talking to Steve, his plan is so beautiful just because there is that graduating to success. There's that leading to success, and it's inspiring. And I cannot wait to see those up and running, not just here in Colorado, because like Steve, I'm also in Colorado, but everywhere. It's such a great program, and I cannot wait to see it succeed.
Yes, I totally agree. Now, you have a program that gives us that fourth leg on our three-legged stool that I talked about in the beginning of the episode. Please tell Zach Clayton, please tell our audience what this is all about.
Well, first off, Doc, thank you very much for allowing me to join you. I do appreciate it. 7 years ago, I was run off the road on my motorcycle and I was left in a ditch for over 7 hours. And I suffered some disabilities, and because of that, I couldn't go back to the job I had. Well, I'm also not a guy who just can sit around and do nothing. So I created Community Pay It Forward fundraising because we support small to medium business owners. And we know that there are times out there where we just need a helping hand. And so what we do is we team with small to medium business owners. We're not afraid of the big guys, but we are more aimed towards the small and medium business owners and give them a chance to give us a referral fee to improve their community. With that referral fee that they give us, we take and turn 80% of that referral fee to a cause that the customer supports, whether that be one of Onward and Upward, whether that be Steve's program with Graduated Hope. It's one of those things that these companies, these organizations have come to us and said, you know what, we would like to add us to your program to try to raise a little bit of money. We're not asking people to round up to the nearest dollar or do anything like that. We're just asking you to shop with our wonderful, wonderful fundraising family. And when you do that, they're going to donate in your name to a cause that you love.
So if they want a small business or a large business, it doesn't matter whether it's small or large, you are welcoming them just the same with the platform of, hey, you're going to do business anyway.
That's right.
You're going to do business anyway. Might as well do business in a social proof way.
Right. And the thing about the small and medium business owners, they truly understand that we are not Walmart. We cannot put a business in the middle of the Gobi Desert and survive. We can't do that. Walmart could. We're not able to do that. So what we need to do is we need to support our communities, because our communities don't do us any good if everybody's suffering. So in the small to medium business owners, there's the ones who are going to give out the donations all the time and say, hey, you know what, come and see us, and we're going to donate to your cause because we want to make sure everybody's better. So they really, really get involved with the community. And we love getting them involved and hoping that they become as successful and as present as they can be, because truthfully, my company is nothing without them. They have to succeed for me to do any good. And, if they don't do any good, then I'm a guy who gives away free clothing. And that doesn't, that's not going to support me for very long. But, we also have wonderful, one of the things that I love the most is I get to be a voice for some of these programs. One of them just happens to be like Healing Warriors here in Northern Colorado, who asked me to help them give away these little bags that have homemade blankets in them and food, and there's toiletries. There's just so many things in here and a little card. But, Healing Warriors offers free medical care to veterans in the Colorado region. And we love being able to tell people about the great work that they're doing that would go unheard a lot of times, because as hard as they work, not everybody can hear about them. But if I'm talking about them and you're talking about them and Steve's talking about them, then we've got three more voices that help support what they do. And I think that that's one of the true meanings of community.
I agree. Healing Heroes?
Yes, this one's called Healing Heroes here in, like I said, this is in Colorado. If anybody in Colorado wants to get a hold of us at Community Pay It Forward, if they know a veteran who could really use one of these, we'd love to give you one to hand out to them. You can just give us a call at 970-909-0751. Once again, that's 970-909-0751. I'd love to meet up with you and help support our heroes. And yes, please check out Healing Warriors. They're based in Fort Collins, but they have clinics all the way down to Longmont right now. They're waiting to get some more built, and we're going to help them all along the way. And once again, if you make a purchase, you can support them by just emailing us your receipt and saying, I want to support Healing Warriors.
So just by emailing the receipt of having done business with people that are registered with Community Pay It Forward makes it so that you are doing business as you would anyway, but
Yep.
you're also making a donation to a very worthy cause. Guys, I got to tell you, there's a lot of people that have served this country but don't qualify for health care through the VA.
You know, a lot of times, Anna Maria, one of the other problems is a lot of the programs that are out there, and I was talking to Steve about this earlier today, they base everything on last year's income. So say you get injured and you have nothing coming in, they're not basing it off looking at that right now. They're looking at what you made last year. And that disqualifies a lot of people in the veteran world, in the civilian world. It disqualifies them from any assistance. What we're trying to do is gap that, because it is terrible when you work so hard, when you serve your country as you guys did, when you serve your country and all of a sudden you're losing everything because you were in an accident that had you had no cause of your own. So
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad to know that there's healing heroes. That's great news.
well, I can't wait to support them even further.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. And we're going to continue to talk about being that fourth leg of that three-legged to four-legged stool right after these messages. Ron salutes as a LinkedIn business strategist and relationship advisor. He's the co-author of 21 Days to Success with LinkedIn. He's a guest speaker for the U.S. Army on veteran transition. Contact Ron at his website.
I'm Zach Damon, host of the Disability Channel Detroit. Please join us at the Disability Channel and watch the Disability Channel Detroit for all your Michigan disability information.
Mike Merwin here, U.S. Navy retired submarine officer turned entrepreneur. I turned my hobby of 25 plus years making beef jerky into a thriving small business. Made in small batches with only high quality ingredients, it's not good, it's crazy good. A portion of all proceeds helps save military lives. Order now on www.crazymikesjerky.com using code CB10 for 10% off.
So we are talking with Steve and with Zach about their support in salute for our service. Thank you. On behalf of all the veterans and warriors, I thank you for being that fourth leg of the four-legged stool.
I know I would like to say thank you so very much, whether you served in wartime, in peacetime, no matter what branch you served in. I come from a very veteran family, and I support all of you, and we will do anything we can to make sure that we take care of you in any way we can. So thank you.
That's right.
Thank
You've
you,
served us,
Zach.
and we want to serve you.
It's a beautiful way to put it, Steve.
See, guys, we're not alone. We may think we're alone, but we're not alone. We have community. Look at this. We have community. We have community within ourselves, and we have community with supporters such as Steve and Zach. So there's no way that you can go through a dark space or a dark place anymore alone, because you don't need to be and you aren't. So I'm happy to tell you right here and right now in Veterans Onward to Prosperity episode, whatever number this is, to let you know, look, we've got housing, we've got a community, pay it forward. You know that with we're building a home front forward operating base, first of its kind in Makanda, Illinois. And I say we because there's a veterans coalition that is forming and taking place with our first events coming up in 2022. We are so excited because in 2022, I believe that this is going to be a year of all years for all of us to prosper. Look at what Steve is doing. Steve is looking for investors that want to prosper and help in the process of those people that are residing in graduated hope to prosper. Look at what Zach is doing with Community Pay It Forward. He's allowing, you're going to do business anyway, so let's do business with the opportunity to use that business transaction in a donation. I mean, this is so awesome.
And we are excited to announce that as of today, Steve is going to be joining our team in some capacity. So Steve in his real estate business is going to be joining our team, and we couldn't be more excited than to hear that. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at all the energy and the effort that's being given to us.
We're partnering together to make this happen, and together it takes a village, I tell you, but all of us working together, it's amazing. We can see what gets done.
Yes, and that's that synergy that has been kind of lacking. I mean, let's face it, for all these years, there's been a lot of talk about we have a military suicide problem. In fact, it's gotten so much publicized that it's been around the world publicized that 22 of us decide not to live anymore per day. That's a horrible thing to be publicizing, but yet it is, and it has gone around the world as such. So we are capitalizing on the fact that everybody knows the number 22 and the significance of it. And so we found the most unique date on the calendar coming up in 2022, February 22, 2/22, 2022. Isn't that amazing? We have that unique calendar date to do something that goes beyond the awareness part. And you two know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. And not only are we going to do the awareness part, but we're also going to be doing the honor, salute, prevent, and protect part with your help.
that's right.
I'm so excited. Thank you, Steve.
I would like to add one more thing, Anna Maria, if you don't mind. This is actually going out to the civilians who are listening to this. Make sure that if you know that somebody's got a problem, you reach out. Not all the time are they going to want to reach out, but there are veterans organizations that are out there who can tell you, who can help you help them. Don't sit back and wait. Don't be on a suicide watch. Being on a suicide watch is doing nothing. You need to be proactive. You need to be ahead of this. So if you need help, please reach out to us, Anna Maria, or Steve. All of us, we have numbers for you to call. We have resources. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't be a part of the number 22. It's too late once you're that number. Don't do that. Get out, do something.
Steve, you have something to add?
I was just going to say, don't isolate. Isolation is one of the worst things you can do. It takes being involved with what's going on around you. So as Zach mentioned, always know the resources that are there. There are more resources that are out there than sometimes you realize. So don't isolate yourselves. Again, it's the community that makes us all work together.
I'm glad you said that, but I also want to make an additional message to what Zach said and to what Steve said. If you are a civilian and you do see that there's a veteran that is in distress, don't just give them the number.
No.
Walk them through the process.
Yep.
It's true.
We have been trained that we within ourselves have the strength to get through anything. And that is a downfall. That gives us the thought that, hey, we can figure this out even though we are in a state where we can't. So in a delusional type of way, we're thinking, all right, give me the number and I'll do something. When in fact, I would think 99% of the time, they don't.
It's not a you problem. It's a we problem.
A we problem. So don't just give them the number. Walk them through. Hold their hand if necessary. But that's the fourth leg of the four-legged stool. I'm going to talk more and wrap this up right after these messages.
What's the cost of freedom? Life, limbs, sanity. To survive, soldiers need hope and help. Won't you help? Pledge $22 a month to the Veterans Ranch and give hope to returning U.S. military. For details, click the link and give hope to our returning military. Just $22 a month.
Hi, I'm Eric Windross. You're watching the Disability Channel, showcasing abilities.
America lost 22 yesterday. She could lose another 22 today. When is enough going to be enough? At the Veterans Ranch, we work with veterans, first responders, and their families through horses. The money you donate helps us expand our programs and help get that number down to 0. Help us serve the ones that served us all by going to project20,000.org and pledge $22 a month.
Do you guys know that even though you are going through something, and we've been taught we have the strength within us to go through it, you don't go through it alone. Just like what Steve said. Don't isolate. And what Zach said, if you happen to know of someone, it doesn't, a civilian or even a military, guys, we got to look out for each other. We're all in this together, just like what Steve and Zach said. We are all in this together. And after having listened to what Zach and Steve said, do you feel now that you're supported with that fourth leg of the fourth-legged stool? That you're no longer trying to sit on a three-legged stool that's going to collapse from under you? No, we have the support of everybody. We have the support of each other. We have the support of those that have served. We have those that have not served that are supporting us. There is no reason for us to think for 1 second that we are ever alone. Reach out. I've got a Facebook page for Veterans Onward to Prosperity. I've got the YouTube channel for Veterans Onward to Prosperity. You've got Zach's contact. You've got Steve's contact. Reach out. Until our next episode, I encourage you to be the best you can be.